I've lived on this property 26 years, and I'm very familiar with the conditions on the river.
Jan Carter's farm and home are located out Beaver Creek next to the Stamp River. And although she's familiar with river conditions, she sure didn't expect this.
So the entire floor is, the entire base bottom floor is like this. The water was, what was it, up to here inside this whole lower floor. The rain started, I guess, on Monday, and Tuesday I came home at lunchtime and looked at the river and realized that the river was rising much more rapidly than I had ever seen it. That night, the water continued to rise. I tried to maintain it in the house with a sump pump that I have set up and vacuuming up with the shop vac.
At 4 o'clock early Wednesday morning, Jan realized it was out of her control and decided to call the authorities.
We did get some volunteers from the Beaver Creek Volunteer Fire Department to come out, and Dolan's brought out the sand for it, and they started sandbagging. By that time, when we came in to look at it, it was determined that it was too far gone, that we would not be able to do any control with the sandbags. So the water came up to here along this side. The sandbags were placed here to stop the glass from breaking and the logs from coming in. The Somas River was chock-a-block full of logs and trees floating down from everywhere. The water continued to rise, and there was just no stopping it. It had breached all along the entire river section out here, and it was like a river. A river was running through it, and that's exactly what was happening here.
Jan's main concern, of course, was saving her prized possessions.
My concern was for my animals. I am on a farm, and to make sure that they were safe. And I was able to continue to walk back and forth to the barns. The water walking from here, the house, to the barns was approximately 4 feet, and the current was very strong. And all of a sudden, a fellow who had come up, who had come out to volunteer, Dwayne from Pacific Chevaux, had come out, brought his four-wheel drive, drove in, and said, "We probably have 5 minutes to get you out of here." He was told by the authorities not to drive in, but he did. So got the dogs in, rescued a cat, got the parrots in, and we drove out. It was really touchy coming out because you could feel the pressure of the water against his truck.
And even though the storms are over, Jan still has a long journey ahead of her.
I'm just waiting to see if I'll be qualifying for provincial funding for disaster relief. So I don't know where I will go from here. Without funding, there's no way that I can afford to continue to farm or to replace the foundation in this house or to, lift it up. I don't know.
But looking back on all the destruction, Jan now recognizes that there have been some positives along the way.
Yeah, the good points really are the people who, let me move in with 3 dogs and 2 parrots and looked after me, who came and rescued. Yeah, it's the people.
In Port Alberni, from Cottonwood Farm, I'm Jenny Fortin.